So what about your future then? What have you got coming up? Anything?
I went out to Cannes this year. That was a fantastic experience as well.
That's a dream of mine.
Yeah, do it, lads. Honestly, it's if you when you go out there, you have to get accreditation to be able to get into the village where all the this what they call them.
I'm assuming you can get us accreditation.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, you go online. You actually go online, get tickets, and if you go, you can go as press, as a director, an actor, a writer. You can go as all sorts of things. And the accreditation, exactly, press or with your your podcast and everything else, and IMDb credits. So what they do is they look at you and they assess your ranking, if you want a better way of describing it. They look at your ranking and they will give you passes to get into different sections. And the higher your ranking, you get into the what they call it, the premiers, where all the high, all this. Will Smith was there this year, and all these other sort of.
The film's going on Netflix, the Will Smith film, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a Netflix exclusive.
Yeah. But there's so you get this accreditation, but you go out there, and it was amazing. I flew out, got the train down to Cannes. I've got a little sort of B&B or a little hotel, and it was about 30 miles away. About 30 minutes away. And you get there, and the place is absolutely manic. A good friend of mine, JP Gates, is an actor. He said we had planned this. We got pissed one night. We were doing a film called Borstal, and it was up somewhere.
Watched that one?
Yeah, I haven't seen it myself yet.
It's good. Just watch it.
It's alright.
It's not bad.
But he was. We were in that, and JP said we were getting pissed one night. I bought a big bottle of rum to my room. We were sat there. There's nothing else to do, and we sat there, and he said, "I'm going to Cannes. I said, "Fuck me, I've got to do that with you. I've got to do that." Okay, we'll plan it. I said, "Right, we're going to go." It went out of my mind. I was setting up the business. I was doing all sorts of things. Completely forgot it. About 2 weeks before we were going to go, JP goes, "All right, mate." He said, "You coming to Cannes then?" I said, "When is it?" 2 weeks. Oh, for fuck's sake! I said, "Give me some notice." So I said, "Well, all right. Well, yeah." He said, "Well, it's too late to get accreditation." So great. He said, "You can do it when you get there." He said, "You just pay €30 a day, and it gives you a pass, and you can go in and you can go into any of the sort of things apart from the premieres and stuff." I said, "Okay, I'll do that then." So I was going to be filming on the Friday. I was going to film on the Friday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, and the Sunday I was going to be filming up in London on that little short film. What was it called? Leonard. I was going to be doing Leonard. It's on there, on the script as well.
We haven't got.
So I was going to be doing Leonard, and the guy who used to play Boise, what is his name? I can't remember.
John Chalice.
Yeah. John Chalice was going to be playing opposite me. He was going to be playing Leonard. And I was going to be playing his son, lovely sort of two-handed tearjerker. And then I got a call from the director, and he said, "John's not going to be doing. We're going to have to recast it because he's going out to do Benidorm." So he's out doing Benidorm at the moment. So anyway, that all went to rats, and it was
selfish,
it was so
rude.
It was terrible. What he did, I mean, unfortunately, the director, lovely guy, Joseph V. Sultana, he's a half Maltese, lovely bloke.
Yeah.
He said, "Kev, I'll hand it over for someone else to run. It's a couple of young lads. They're going to be producing it and directing it." He said, "My mum is just about to die, etc., etc." I said, "It's all right, no problem at all, Joseph. I'll just wait to hear from them." So the day before, I've been pestering him, saying, "Right, sort me accommodation out. Where am I staying? Where am I going to be? Where are we filming? Where's the set, etc." Nothing, absolutely nothing. So the night before, I get an email. "Hi, Kev. We were going to recast the part of Leonard, and we haven't managed to do that. So what we'd like you to do is you play the part of Leonard." I went, "What? Leonard's fucking like in his 70s." So I said, "Cheers, guys."
Do I look like
I said,
a 70-year-old?
Who's going to play?
There's a comment in there, wasn't there?
I could reach down and find a punch in the mouth of the woods, but
basically they called you and said, "Kevin, you look like you could pass the 70-year-old."
Hey, listen, you old bastard, you're playing. So I said, "Not happening, boys." And then they went dead. And then about 2 hours later, no, I got that wrong. You're not meant to be playing Leonard. You'll still be playing the son. I can't remember his name now, but you're still going to be playing the son. We've recast it. I said, "Well, who's playing it?" "We're not sure yet." So I said, "Right, where am I staying?" "Oh, did you arrange with Joseph that he was going to provide accommodation?" I said, "I live in Cornwall, you twat." I said, "I'm going to have to come up there, and we'll be up there for 5-6 days." I said, "What are you, I'm going to sleep in the car?" Yeah, I just thought. So I said, "Tell you what, lads, I've never done this before, and I apologise, but count me out, because this is obviously not working. You don't know what you're doing. and it's gone to rat shit. And then I got a phone call from an actress who was going to be in it. Kev, what's going on? I said, oh, you don't know either. She said, no, I'm thinking about pulling the plug. I said, well, I already have. She went, right, so am I. So she went and did the same thing. Then we had a round robin email saying, production's been cancelled. So it was complete clusterfuck. So then
that would be me if I was a director or producer there. Like, so badly organised. Like,
so can anyone tell me what's going on?
Yeah,
I'd be the one.
knew.
I'd be going up to the extras like, do you know what's going on?
Do you know how to use this? I mean,
Nobody knew. What's this? Is that my
do you
voice?
like?
Hello? Yeah. Oh,
that's it. Black ice cream.
But it was like that. And so anyway, I contacted mate JP. I said, JP, this is all gone to rat shit. I'm going to have to drive up today. I said, you're flying out tomorrow, aren't you? Yeah. But in the afternoon, early morning, I get a phone call. Hello, it's JP. I said, what's the matter, mate? I missed my flight. I said, yeah, dick. What happened? He said, well, I got there 15 minutes before, they wouldn't let me on the flight. I'm waiting for the next one. I said, all right. So get a phone call back 2 hours later. Can't get on the next flight. I said, right, okay, what are you going to do then? He said, fuck it, mate. He said, I'm not going to go out. He said, I can't really afford it. My missus is, kicking up, so I'm not going to go. I said, JP, I'm going out there with you. I'm booking a hotel. I've got everything sorted out. I don't know my ass from my elbow. You were supposed to be showing me the ropes. Oh, man, I'm sorry, mate. And I said, that's all right, don't worry about it. So I put a thing out on Facebook. Anybody going to Cannes, tell me what's going on. So a very good friend of mine, Claire Cahill, who's a producer, she worked as a second AD. No, she was first AD on a film called Gridiron UK that we did 4 years ago, American football film. And she said, yeah, she said, I'm going. Oh, by the way, Kev, I hope you don't mind, but I've already pimped you out for a role. I went, what? She went, yeah, it's a film called Champion, and you're meeting Alex, the director, on Monday. Oh, good. Yeah, cool.
Awesome.
Got out there. I'm still walking around with a suitcase, and I meet her on the front, and she introduced me to Alex. Lovely guy, young black director from London. We go and have lunch, and within sort of 20 minutes, he said, "I'd like to make you a formal offer, Kev." So it's a feel-good factor film about a young boy who's got a fantastic talent for running. He's a sprinter. He doesn't realise it. He goes down to the local sports club and the big running track, and he's watching things go on. And he meets the caretaker down there, who used to be a coach. And the coach senses something about him and sees him running and thinks this guy's got some talent. And it reminded him of a young black lad that he knew when he was a lot younger, who he pushed and pushed and pushed, but unfortunately didn't realise he had a heart condition, and the young lad died. And it turns out that he was the father of the young lad now that you see. Right. He didn't know it, and the young lad doesn't know it. They don't know who each other are. But it's all this sort of thing. He finds his feet, he realises his skills and stuff, and his talent. And it's a real nice, feel-good sort of film. It's got a bittersweet ending, but it's a cracking little film. So I've been offered a role in that. So
awesome. That's
the next thing. It should have been started in August, but
what did you say that one was called?
It's called Champion.
Champion.
But the finance went tits up, because the financiers, who know nothing about film, nothing about scripts or actors or anything at all, they know about money, and they said, yeah, we like it, but we want to change this in the script, and the lead, we're not entirely happy about him. So Alex and Claire said,
typical.
See you later, mate. We've got lots of other people who are interested in financing the film. Kiss my ass. So they've got rid of them, and they've got new financiers. So,
it's very typical in any sort of film production company. Though, and if they want to make some money, they want to change it to be more mainstream or to
pop
culture.
They feel
pop
that
culture.
exactly. They feel it's going to sell better if we do this and we do that.
Then you find like things that are like pop culture-y or anything like that. Like what was that film that's just come out? Valerian. Mm-hmm. That ticked every box of pop culture.
Yeah.
Bombed big time at the box office. Like terrible sales.
Mm. Well, I was talking to Kev before we came upstairs, and we was talking about the podcast, and that's exactly what we do not want. Like, pop culture's filtered in a really strange way. It's bubble wrapped. It's made to seem more glittery and fantastic for listen to. But at the end of the day, you want the real shit. Basically, that's what you want. And I think people appreciate that more once they get a feel for what it is.
Like, rather than just the real shit, you want like a certain kind of fake, don't you? Like when you watch films, you want a certain kind of bullshit, not just like
digestible, basically.
Yeah.
Just want it.
So Dan hit it nail on the head. It's there are so many fake fuckers out there. I can't stand. I just give you an instance. I had an agent, and I met this agent. She was a nice lady. Met her up at BAFTA, and I thought I was looking for an agent at the time. This was the first agent I was going to have. She wanted to meet me at BAFTA. I thought, geez, I'm really, this BAFTA. This is incredible. I got my three-piece suit, travelled up in some scruffs, went across London, chucked them in the dressing room. I was there about 2 hours before the interview for her to take me on. Put the suit on, went and met her. Most insincere person you ever met. And I just, straight away, I thought, I'm going to have to swallow this because she's an agent and she's done some stuff. And I looked in her background and she was an actress. And they were at L Street Studios. So I thought, I've just got to, just shut your face, Kevin, put up there. So that was that. But at the end of every audition they would send me to, which were always shite, and they were, her explanation was, she said, what's your aspiration? And I said, Game of Thrones. She went, oh really? I went, yeah, Game of Thrones. I said, but I'd like by the end of this year to at least, been in front of me in gold or somebody for a part in Game of Thrones. That's what I want. Oh, okay. That's totally unrealistic. What we need to do is start off in small adverts to start off with, get your face known, and then build it from there. She said in 2-3 years time we can start looking at it. I thought,
aim high, man.
Of course, but I'm a complete novice at it. I didn't know what she was. I thought, oh, okay.
You just assume she's right. That's the thing, isn't it?
And they sent me to these shite adverts, and it was a cattle market. You go there, and it's obviously they wanted somebody of an age, my age, with a beard and long hair. So you go there, and there's 40 blokes, all the same. And you think, really? For fuck's sake, you go in, you do your bit. I mean, it takes me 4.5 hours to drive up there. Then you're going to go across London. It's £100, probably £120 round trip for me every time, and there's no guarantee. And the majority of the time, you don't get the role. if it's a good earner, it's worth going up. And some of these adverts are 35, 40 grand for buy-up. So spending £100 and spending a day travelling to London is worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But after every single one, they wanted me to phone them and tell them how I got on. And she always used to finish the phone call with, okay, lovely, yeah, love your work, darling.
It's almost like hook and bait, isn't it, to keep you on?
Yeah, and it was, love your work, darling. And I thought, you ain't got to fuck... And
it's like the idea of like, well, I'm really nice to you, stick with me. Really nice.
And it was
don't go to someone else.
The same, you could almost see her. She was probably on the phone, she's on the phone to me, and she's probably updating an email or doing something. Couldn't give a toss who you were.
And it was scripted, isn't it?
And it was scripted. It was just this general thing that she would say at the end of every single conversation. It was so insincere. I'd phone the office. I'd say, hello, can I speak to Linda, please? Who is it? It's Kevin Horsham. Sorry, who's that? I said, Kevin Horsham. Yeah, I'll see if she's free. And then she'd go, oh, hi, hi Kevin, yeah, how are you? And just
so she's looking you up.
Exactly. And you thought,
I bet maybe she was on it when she first started, and she was like getting on board and stuff. And then it gets to the point when you start doing well, you're just like, like just another actor or something.
Yeah, and it was just so, and I thought, nah. So I went to the next agent, and I went in there, and the guy's brilliant, Imperial Management, and I met Richard Carberry and Dan, who's the director. And perhaps I maybe a little bit out of order. I said, Dan, he said, what are you looking for in an agent? I said, Dan, I want someone to be honest with me, I want integrity, I don't want people phoning me up, blowing sunshine up my ass when I'm being crap. If I've got an audition, that's great. I don't want to have to check in every 5 minutes, and I don't need people to phone me and ask how I am, and I don't need all that. I said, I
want to call when there's an audition chance, I want to call when there's a change in my career.
Yeah, and that's all I need. I said, and I just want people to be straight up with me. And if you can give me that, then that's fine. He went, and he swears just as me, mate, fucking brilliant. That's just what we're all about. He said, no problem at all, we'd like to sign you up. And they've been great.
I bet most of it's probably because there's I don't know how much of a cut agents take or how much you have to pay them and stuff.
You get, I think it's 20% for film, 15% for TV, and there's it varies, but.
If they can just pile on loads of like lesser.
They're very fair, very upfront. And the thing is with the agents.
I mean, some agents are probably a bit.
Oh yeah, there are. I mean,
money making rather
there's good and good ones and bad ones, but.
So with anything, though, isn't it really?
Yeah, the idea is that if I get work myself, I have to notify them, and they will get a cut from that. So if they get me work, they get their 20% fee. If I find work, someone comes to me and approaches me and I get the job myself, I still have to pay them the 20% fee because it's the agent fee. So I've got no issue with that, and I tell them I'm upfront and honest with every single job that I get offered. Run through the agent, you have to take it through them because they have to work it out.
Yeah, I suppose because generally they'll probably find more things than you will. Well, like that would be a general rule, because they have more contacts.
Stuff comes to them. Stuff comes out in Spotlight. This is one of the casting sites I'm on. There's Spotlight, and there's casting called Pro, which has gone downhill a bit, and it tends to be crappy adverts and corporate things and internet stuff.
I was looking at one of your actor profiles. I'm not sure which website it was on, but I saw that you did an episode of Crime Watch or something.
No, do you know what? That was me bullshitting. When I started off, I mean, many years ago, my acting started 12 years ago. I went out to Spain. I was in a real low point of my life. Went out to Spain. Mum and Dad were out there staying with some friends. Jumped in the pool. I had kids with me. Jumped in the pool. My kids were playing with this other bloke's kids, and he had a jarhead, GI haircut. So I thought, that's an odd haircut. I said, but you're smart. I said, got talking to him, and he said, I've just come back. He said, we just did a film called Rendition something. He said, I was playing a GI in this thing. I said, all right, you're an actor, yeah. I said, fuck me, I've always wanted to be an actor. I'd love to do it. Well, do it then. I said, yeah, I've never been trained or anything, done any of that sort of thing. He said, don't worry about it. He said, just make up a CV, bullshit. He said, flower it up. He said, send it off, and he suggested send it to universities that do media courses. And I did exactly that. I came back, and that was one of the bullshit things, because when I was in the police force, I was doing my CIDA, and I went on to Crime Watch because I had a job. It was a job Bungalow Bill. They entitled it because Christ, how many years ago now? 15 years ago, a guy came down. He was called Killick, as I remember. Came down from up country to spend Christmas at the Knotbridge holiday park, and we had a really bad winter. The riverbanks burst, and all the bungalows were all flooded. And this fucker was going around, because everybody had evacuated, going around nicking everybody else's personal belongings, loading them into a wheelbarrow, and he's taking them down the thing with their laptops, watches, everything, and you can think of all their personal gear.
It's an odd vehicle for.
Yeah, the dopey bastard. There was a couple down there filming because their stuff has been, their holiday let had been washed out, and they filmed it, so they had it on video. So of course, when I was on my CIDA, no, I was crap at CID, and I was on my CIDA. My DS was a grumpy bastard. I'm really good friends with him now, but he was a miserable shit. And he said, "You got this fucking job on your workload. What are you going to do about it?" I said, "Well, funny thing." So I said, "I'm going to go on Crime Watch." I said, "I need your." "What are you fucking talking about? Go on Crime Watch?" I said, "I got this video." I said, "Of the offender with a wheelbarrow full of stuff." I said, "And if I can," he said, "Oh, don't be such a twat." I said, all right, look, would you have any problem with me phoning the TV station and do it? Anyway, I phoned them. Have you got the footage? Sent the footage through. About an hour later, can you be on the show next week? So I went back to him and went, I can't fucking believe it. So they had 4 DCs in that night who had to take phone calls from people, members of the public phoning in, which he was pissed off with because he had plenty of overtime. But yeah, and that was it was called Bungalow Bill, and that's my appearance on TV. So I put myself down as I was on Crime Watch, what I fucking was. Yeah. I sat there on the phones taking calls about murders, about all sorts of bloody things, and that was just after Sue Dando was murdered.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's where Crime Watch came from. But I thought, I'll stick it on the TV.
Yeah, fucking right.
You're the first person who's ever asked me.
And I do my research.
I've got it's funny. It's a running joke in my family, but so a few years ago I helped my old man do a bit of DIY because I was short of work. I was part time and I needed a bit more money. So he used to have his own business by himself and just go around and do all sorts, anything, decking, indoors, whatever, painting. So I used to go around and give him a hand. Now when I say give him a hand, I was not a technical worker at all. It was more like, you lift the heavy shit and move it. And then he'll do all the amazing, beautiful stuff, and then I'll go, yeah, we did that together.
That's good then.
So
I'm the special one.
So I updated my CV as being a paint and decorator.
Basically just the gorilla, just like
paint and decorator.
Stuff.
So if anyone comes and asks me to do something, I'll be like, oh well, bring my dad.
I'm really busy with work at the moment, but here's the number of someone who will be really good for you.
Let me know if there's any heavy shit that needs lifting, and I'll do that. Yeah.
I know Richard Branson saying, "Fake it till you make it." That's my attitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to blow your trumpet for you unless you.
Richard Branson was a lucky dude. He made some decisions that were just like pure luck.
I read his book.
He bidded on the planes to start Virgin Airlines, didn't he?
It was
and if that had gone wrong, he'd have been just.
Well, you
fucked.
know what that was. To start Virgin Airlines, he was trapped somewhere. They were on a flight. The flights were cancelled.
It was
so he said,
his wife.
I'll charter. Yeah, I'll charter. How much to charter a flight? So we went to an airline that had a plane there and said, how much would it cost to get all these people back? So they told him, and he went, oh, great. Went to all the passengers, and this is, I don't understand the story went, this is how much the plane's going to cost us. You know, I want a little bit on top, and that's how he started this fucking airline business, and he found it that easy. But it's that thing of, if you don't try, I can't stand people who, and I've got a big thing with negative people, and they're always the ones who offer the most advice about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And then when you do something, they're so mean-spirited they can't bring themselves to say anything fucking positive.
Just unsupportive.
I couldn't believe people like that.
It's because being positive about something requires to have put work into it, and being negative requires to be lazy, and it's easier to be negative, unfortunately. So that's why people seem to be the guru of advice when they're negative, but actually.
I say that though, like I offer a lot of advice, but I still haven't actually
started. They do call you negative Nath though, that is.
Well, not as far as I know.
That's right,
I've never heard that, but we'll go with it. But I've still never started my business properly.
Do you know what my old gran used to say, was one of her favourite sayings, faint heart, never fucked a pig. Now that means...
Please explain.
It's true though. You've got to try, and if you don't try, you're never going to bloody know. This life is very, very short, and that cliche has been so used and overused, but life is so bloody short, and it's not. I'm 53 years old now, and I'm more and more aware of my own mortality now than I was when you're as youngsters and everything else. You think life goes on forever, and then when things and people of your own age or even younger start to leave. 18 months ago, we lost my brother-in-law, 49 years old, died, cancer. Shortly after that, wonderful bloke who was my daughter's stepfather, Steve, he died of cancer. Both people who, 12 months before their deaths, if you'd said to them, you're going to get, it's never going to happen to me, never happened to me. And they both died. My mother-in-law died 4 months ago with vascular dementia. So it's a real kick in the teeth, but it's happening. I mean, this is the only one sure thing is they say about death and taxes. You can avoid your taxes and you can screw people.
You can kind of avoid your taxes.
Exactly, but dying is going to happen to all of us. So that's the one sure thing. And there's nothing to be scared of because it's just you're moving on to something else. But in the time that you've got, my attitude to life is life is just a whole string of events and experiences. And the more experiences you can cram into this short time we've got, you've got to do. You've got to try things. And if it's instead of waiting for, because tomorrow never fun comes, and it's always people will say, "Oh, we're going to have kids, but what we're going to do, we're going to get the kitchen done first." And then we're going to have kids.
I've never heard that excuse before.
But they do. But I remember doing it. We're going to do it after we're going to have a summer holiday, and then we come back, and then we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and it never happens. No. And there's never a right time. And I tried this once. It was I went and did a business course. It was a property buying course, and they're very much into this giving back and gratitude, and talking about the gratitude to and this sounds very out there, but the universe, and being positive about things, and saying, if you think you're going to fail, you will fucking fail, guaranteed. But having that positive attitude to things and believing and trying to envisage yourself in that position. So you want to be a millionaire, don't think, oh, this is what I would do if I was a millionaire, because that's all what happened. You've got to start acting like a millionaire, talking like a millionaire, and doing those things, those positive things.
I was doing that last night. I was at the casino.
Skip down here.
I'm no longer a millionaire. I'll tell you that now.
But it's this thing about life, and
started as less than a millionaire. Now I'm less than just.
I'm skint. But it's the negative thing. I can't stand negativity, and I've tried all sorts of things. I decided I was going to do some property, so I went and I bought a course. I went up to Richmond and I studied. I was 24/7 policeman for 25 years, and in that time I was trying to be an actor and I was trying to be a property developer, and something had to give. And that's hence why part of why I decided to retire early with 25 years service as opposed to 30. But the thing was, I decided I was going to do this. So and people were saying, "You're an idiot. Why are you doing that? How are you going to rent these places out? What if they don't rent out?" And every negative thing that you can imagine.
If it doesn't work, then fuck it, it doesn't work.
Exactly. But I went and learned how to buy property. It's very, very all legal, but very constructive, very intelligent ways of buying property. I bought a property thing through a thing called a keys access undertaking. You probably haven't got a clue what a keys access undertaking is.
Not a clue.
And it's something I learned on this course. But it's where a property that is unmortgageable can't be sold. So you go to the owner and say, right, and I did this with a guy, how much do you want for the property and how much you need? So he told me how much he wanted and how much he needed. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you what you need. All right. And we agreed on price. So he said, right, so you're going to buy my property? I said, no, I can't get a mortgage on it, it's a shithole. Well, how are you going to buy it? I said, well, you're going to give me the access to the property with the keys for a period of 3 months. And I'm going to go in there and at my own expense, I'm going to renovate that property to get it into a mortgageable condition. Once I've got it into a mortgageable condition, I'll apply for a mortgage. I know that it's going to be valued at higher than what you're offering, or you asking for the property. Once I get that money, I'll pay you what your asking price is, and the property's mine. Is that okay? That was okay. And that's how you buy property.
Sneaky,
so,
but I like it.
Yeah, but it works, and people are doing it now, and I'm thinking about doing it again. But the attitude from people close to me, which is frustrating, was, oh, you're nuts, you know, what if the interest rates go up? What if you can't get student? Everything is what if? And I say, yeah, but what if I do get the property? What if the interest rates stay where they are? What if I fill it with students?
What if I make a
what
fucking
if
killing?
What if I make a shitload of profit? Well, yeah, and it's always this half glass, half full shit.
That was kind of where we were at with the podcast, though. Like, if we don't do it, then we don't do it. But if we do it, and we end up getting, like, we've had some pretty positive remarks so far.
Don't ever wait for tomorrow.
Like, just fucking go for it. Why not?
And if people go, that podcast was shit last night, oh, was it? Kiss my ass, people fuck, what do you think?
Well, not
try
to
and do something different next time.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I was saying to Nathan a while ago, or a few weeks ago, like, where we are already, like, and you're not a fan of having smoke blowing up your ass, but we've got you on our podcast talking to us, and that to me already is like
successful businessman.
That's very nice of you to say.
What the fuck is that?
But it's great. Like I mean, Simon, he's a successful tattooist, and that was great. Like our friend Matt is just one of our mates who came on because he's
quite animated
as
well.
He's good at the banter,
he
can have a laugh.
Yeah.
But like the third episode, we've already got like an actual proper actor who's been in actual recognisable things.
Yeah.
It's the thing is again, that's that thing of, you know, you say those things, but as me, I'm just Kev Horsham. I don't see myself.
I just do my shit.
It's weird, isn't it? It's
I don't associate with people. This will fucking make you laugh. My daughter's a fantastic singer, absolutely fantastic singer. Emily Jane Horsham, she's called. Brilliant singer. She sings at Charlie Frank's. She's 17 years old. Stunning voice, absolutely stunning voice. So we go to Charlie Frank's, and it's owned by a friend of mine, Dave Barrett, and again, absolutely lovely bloke, one of my best mates, very successful businessman. Now there's a man, if you say he can't do something, he goes and does it, and he's just on the ball all the time.
He's welcome to go on the podcast at some point.
Yeah.
But what I'll tell you what, I can put you in touch with some people who you would love to talk to, who, you know, have got massive life experience. But anyway, he saw my daughter Emily and said, I want to book her. How many times can I book her now? I want this, I want that. You know, I wanted to book there, I want to sing her there. So she was great. While she was singing there, a couple came along and they saw her sing, and they run the Chamber of Commerce for Plimpton, and they said, we're having the light switch on in November, and 27th of November I think it is, and we'd like Emily to come along and sing. So they asked me how much the fee would be for Emily to sing. So I said, I told them, and they said, yeah, it's a charity event. But Kev, you were in Game of Thrones, weren't you? I went, yeah. He said, we would pay the fee that you've asked if you would agree to switch the lights on. What?
That's amazing.
I said, well, Z-list of fucking bloke who's been in Game of Thrones.
I was in there for like 6 minutes.
And they go, no, you were in Game of Thrones. You keep on, you got. And my friend Claire, the producer, when we went out to Cannes, she was doing the same thing. She was going, of course, I'd like you to meet, and she was introducing me to directors and buyers and all these people who are in the industry. And she's going, no, this is Kevin Horsham, but I don't have to introduce you, obviously, because you recognise him from Game of Thrones. Now some people like down and go,
smart move.
Yeah.
Other people go, Game of Thrones, oh my God, can I have a photograph taken? My girlfriend loves that. And just
smart move, though.
It's bizarre. And I kept on downing it, saying, yeah, but it was only like, she went, shut up. You don't tell them it's a couple of minutes to people 11 who are not in that.
We're doing the same
is
thing.
amazing.
We're going to do the same thing.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. But so I said, but that's the funny thing. You know, he said, so would you come along and switch to Christmas light? And I thought, fuck, you know. I said, why? What did you have last year? He went, we had a bloke who basically stood up on the stage and wrapped cellophane around his face. Wrapped his head in cellophane.
So basically,
was he at the wrong party that night? Or something?
The guy said, you can imagine how that went down. I went, yeah. I said, well, I counted it. I said, yeah, fuck it.
You can't not be.
No, exactly.
So.
So I said, yeah, I'll come and do it. I said, because that secured the fee from my daughter only.
Why did he have cellophane around his face?
So weird. It was like one of those.
Was it like one of those?
You know when you do sellotape?
Choke himself.
Was he like? It's like autoerotic asphyxiation.
Sorry, kids.
Got a belt around his neck with back of the door. Having a tug.
What TV show is that on?
Happy Christmas.
Is that past the 9 PM watershed?
That's definitely on a TV show. What is it?
What?
Some guy puts a bell around his neck and hangs himself on the back of a door whilst.
That was on Curious Gentleman, wasn't it? Was that episode 3?
Californication. That's what it's on.
Yeah.
Guy fucking hangs himself on the back of the door, and then David Duchovny's character comes out and is just like, "That's why we should always use the buddy system."
I'm going to do Curious Gentleman's first televised toilet break.
Thanks.
Yeah. Back on.
Dan just asked me what
Go.
I thought about this podcast. Honest answer, fucking show. No, it's good. No, that's the understatement. It's good. They're two really nice guys, down to earth, straight talking, lots of things in common. They got beards, so fucking hell, there you go. It's 50% of the way. Yeah, it's nice to talk to like-minded people. Shoot the shit. Be politically incorrect. Swear too much. We covered beards, flanges,
Testicles.
guns, testicles.
Yeah.
We talked about cocks. Mine's only 4 inches thick. All sorts of things we talked about. Yeah, and it's been really good. It's yeah.
Put the worlds to rights, is that how you put it?
Yeah, exactly. Put the worlds to rights. How often do you get the chance to do that without some twat moaning at you? Yeah,
Especially someone for us as well, like someone who's been on Game of Thrones, who's got on IMDb. You've got three projects in production.
Yeah.
I've seen 3 in pre-production.
Yeah.
Don't know if I've written them down here.
Well, we've got Jessica
Got
Frost, which is questionable whether that's going to happen, but
Time Readers. As
Time
well.
Readers, yeah, that was Joseph V. Sultana. He has talked to guys about making that in Malta. He's half Maltese, so he's still looking at that. That's in a pre-production. Leonard, that's still on the cards to be done. It fell flat because there was a loss in his family, but he wants to get that back up and running. That's a really smart little short.
Wasn't Leonard? That's already published, right?
No, that's
This
in
is the
pre-production.
one. We watched the one where it's like the whole fight scene in that small room.
Which one? Oh, that was Trial by Fire. Was that the one?
Yeah.
The biker type.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Tim, good friend of mine, Tim down in Falmouth made that one. It's a bit of a homage to Batman. He loves Batman, so he played Bruce in that one, and that was written by him. So that was a little. We filmed that. It was 2 days. I think it was maybe a day actually. We filmed that in a day. So it's amazing what you can film.
Yeah.
I've got other things in the pipeline. We were going to do Jessica Frost, which was really fantastic sci-fi in the Mojave Desert, and we were supposed to be doing that last year. Then we're supposed to do it this year. It hasn't come about. Issues with finance, all sorts of issues going on. The writer, Carlos Sanchez, Cristo Sanchez, Norwegian guy, really lovely bloke. He wrote that. He wrote Jessica Frost. He's written a film called Nithin. And as an apology, I've got a friend called Anthony Quinlan who's in Emmerdale. He plays Pete in Emmerdale. Top bloke. Used to be in Hollyoaks. He played Gilly in Hollyoaks. Really nice guy. Met him doing a film called Gridiron UK 4 years ago, and we've been friends ever since. Lovely, lovely bloke. And he was flown out to New York, had a meeting with out there. They had a personal trainer for him. They did all sorts of things. He took 3 months off Emmerdale. Cost him a lot of money, unpaid leave, and the film didn't come together. So Christo, as a way of an apology for all the fucking around that we were put through, wrote a film called Nithin, which is a two-handed Viking film. Cracking story. Basically, it's one guy looking for redemption, who's a Viking, and the other guy is looking for retribution and revenge. Brief synopsis is my character older guy, a bit of a henchman, a hired hand, goes to a village to reclaim either somebody or something. Goes to the village, his gang of guys that he takes with him become a little bit overzealous. They burn a few buildings. One of the buildings that they burn contains the wife and 2 children of the leader of this clan, this village, which is Anthony Quinlan's, or Quinny's character. My character apologises, never meant that to happen. He's actually gone away from, I think he's trying to go towards Christianity, and he doesn't believe that he's never going to enter heaven if he doesn't have this redemption, he doesn't have this sort of, what do you call it? If he's not forgiven. So he goes off, and he's away in the wind, and this Anthony Quinlan's character gets a few guys together, 6 or 7 of these guys, and they go hunting him. They're going to hunt him down. Okay. There's a big chase scene, and it's all the way. It goes through the mountains, then down through the valleys, across the rivers, through the forest, and out, eventually out into the tundra. But my character is a very adept warrior, and he picks them off one at a time, kills them in different ways. Right. Sneaks into the camp at night all the time. This is in Sweden or Norway, freezing cold. He's on death's door most of the time. He's been injured. He's got a sword wound. He's fallen out from a tree. Goes through all sorts of things. They eventually end up on the tundra, both almost dying of hypothermia, on their knees. My character asking for retribution and forgiveness, and his character saying, "Okay, no way," and they're just clubbing each other, punching each other with the last ounces. Yeah, really dark, really gritty. So I've got that one on the go. I've had to get hold of Christo. We need to get it scripted, and before you get anybody who's going to look at finance, the producer, Claire Cahill, who is such a switched-on cookie with finance and everything else, has said, "You get it scripted, I'll get you finance, and I'll get you a director." So we've got that one going. And I'm writing one myself, which is called Deep Water, which is, again, they say, write about what you know. So it's about an ex-cop, loses his wife. It turns out that she was actually murdered, and a group of Manc drug dealers work with the Eastern Europeans. They want to start landing cocaine on the coast of Cornwall, fly it in, drop it in, then take it in, and then take it up through the country. And they decide that he's going to be their best bet, and the leverage they're going to use is his daughter. So I'm writing this one at the moment. Again, it's very, very dark, very gritty, bit of a Coen Brothers ending as well. So not something for the faint-hearted. So lots of real violence.
Anything Coen Brothers I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So when's that looking to be done?
I don't know. I've again with trying to set the business up, the Lawlessmen business, trying to get that written. I've written a treatment which is an industry standard treatment. I've got a friend who is a writer from London that I put on, a terrific guy, Indian guy, told me how to write it. I've got to do that, and then I've got to script it. But I would imagine, I'm hoping that I'm going to get it to the standard and level that I can take it to Cannes next year. Okay. With a view to not selling the script, but selling the concept and getting finance out.
There's some good software out there that you can use.
I've got there's two main sort of systems you can use for script writing, which are quite easy to use. It's actually the time. It's time.
Running the business is it's full time.
So that's going to be filmed in Cornwall. Lots of things are in place, but it's just pulling it all together now. So
that's cool.
That is, it's going to be good.
So Lawlessmen then. So the bearded.
Lawless Beards.
Lawless Beards. Excuse me. Yeah, that's it. So what's going on with that then?
Lawless Beards. Right. Lawless Beards came about. Got a mate called Dave Barrett, terrific bloke, very switched-on businessman. Opened a restaurant called Charlie Frank's in 34 Mayflower Street, first floor. He opened that 4 months ago. Now, Charlie Frank's, he wants to be spoken of in the same sort of circles as Ronnie Scott's in London. Lovely, opulent atmosphere and surroundings, good food and music every day. Yeah. And that's what he's looking at doing. So we're having theme nights, we're having theme days. He has a pianist in there during the day, so you can go up and eat your lunch and listen to someone play the piano. My daughter sings there. We're getting acts all the time. So I had a suggestion one night. I said, what about we're doing a beard night? Jokingly, he said, bloody good idea. So we came up with the name of Lawless Beards. And the concept is that any bearded man who wants to come along, like-minded blokes. They can experience 2 live bands, a guest barber who will do free beard trims and give advice about beard care. They're going to get 2 guest collaborators for alcohol. We've got Skinner's Brewery who come along, so you'll be able to taste those beers, pardon me. And we've got Botanist Gin, Botanist Gin, which is made on the Barbican, small batch handcrafted gin, so we're tasting that one. You get the Lawless Burger, which we were talking about earlier on.
Sounds awesome.
Which does sound awesome.
It's fucking tasty.
Yeah, a big beef burger with a big onion ring, fried onion ring on the top of that. Inside a brioche bun with lettuce cheese, which is a cheese Cornish Gouda. And on top of that there is a jalapeno, lime and spring onion chutney. And I had it the other day. Absolutely stunning. And a pint. And that's for 15 quid. Each month they're going to have a different band or 2 different bands. We'll have a different guest barber. We'll have different people who want to collaborate with the alcohol. We've got a guy who does apple moonshine, which tastes absolutely stunning. And David has got a sweet potato moonshine, which is made by a supplier of his. Nobody else has it because it's a byproduct of the production of their veg, and he supplies it only to David. So all these people, it's loads of bloody things we can do.
That's it.
Yeah.
Getting excited.
As we talked about earlier on, it'd be very interesting to work with you guys and collaborate with you guys. Perhaps do a podcast from the place. I'll be there with my beard products to be on sale for the guys.
That's fine.
Yeah, it'd be great. It was something I wanted to.
You can talk to some of the guys at the event. Ask them why they were there. It should be a good little number.
Well, there's ever a reason to go to an evening. I think we've just had it described to
Beards, alcohol, and burgers.
£15 a ticket?
£15 a ticket. You can order them
burger,
online. Barber,
music.
Music, pint, all the other bits and pieces. Beard competition. There's other things being added every day, so I'm updating it every day. So there's going to be prizes, all sorts of stuff going on.
Prizes attached to the tickets. So we need to. Prizes attached to the tickets.
Yeah, prizes attached to the tickets. So if you buy one ticket is got a bottle of beard oil. Lawlessmen beard oil attached to it, another one's got a baseball head attached to it, so I'm going to be attaching other bits and pieces, and those tickets will be drawn, the numbers of those tickets will be drawn on the night. So you get all that for 15 quid, and you phone Charlie Frank's restaurant and you book it, and I'll suggest that people book early because it is bloody going really quickly.
Tickets are flying, are they?
Yeah, tickets are flying, or £17.50 on the door, that's if we can allow in, because there's 100.
Depending on how many we sell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think the tickets will all sell online.
So if people want to follow you, where do they find you on social media? What's your
you can go to www.lawlessmen.com, which is the website. You can contact me through that. There is a system of just sending me a message. You can go on Lawlessmen Facebook page, join that. You can also get me at Kevin Horsham on Facebook.
Yeah.
And at Lawlessmen on Twitter and Instagram the same.
Instagram.
Yeah. Amazing. So yeah, anybody wants to talk to me or ask me any questions or order any stuff, just give us a shout.
Awesome. Well, we're going to buy our tickets. We're going to pop down next week and get those, so we'll be down there.
Top man.
Sounds amazing. Sounds awesome.
We'll get some burgers and beer and taste some alcohol. Get some beard trim.
It's going to be a really good night. David's laying on some really good stuff. And there's other events you were talking about earlier on. Yeah. The 3-piece suits. You love the tweed 3-piece suits.
I love a suit.
Yeah, they love a suit. A man after my own heart. And the aspiration for Lawless Men is that next year we go into 3-piece suits.
Do we need any striking models?
You're saying that, yeah. You would look, you would cut a dash,
I'll model up for you. Yeah. That's all right.
Do that, right? That's
making more work.
There is a casting couch, you do know that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll get myself to count.
Remember, cut 4 inches.
Yeah, well, thick. That is.
Only thick.
Yeah, 4 inches thick. Length is not a factor, ladies and gentlemen.
But the good thing is you've got a moustache, so it'll cover up the stage.
Alright guys, we're going to have to wrap this up now because, it's been 3 hours, isn't it?
It's been a while.
We talked some shit.
Yeah, we discussed anything on that? I don't think we have.
Yeah, we went through most of it.
It's just all bullshit, basically.
Thanks again for
2 hours
coming on.
You're very welcome, mate.
Bullshit.
It's been really, really good.
It's been great. We'd love to have you on again as well. That would be awesome.
Yeah, anytime you want, just give me a shout, mate. I can talk shit for England. But what I'll do also, I'll talk to some of the other guys, friends of mine, that might be of interest to you, that
be great.
probably be interesting to speak to and listen to their sort of life stories or
Perfect.
whatever else.
Absolutely.
If they can talk shit, they're welcome.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Only associate with people who talk shit.
Perfect. Amazing.
The best kind of people.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Awesome.
guys. Thanks ever so much for having me.
Cheers.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
I would say
Thank
cheers,
you.
but
Yeah.
you
I can't do that with Nathan because he'll break my glass.
Smash your glass.
Yeah.
Oops.
That's what you get when you drink 3 quarters of a bottle of whiskey.
Hey, you've done well.
Yeah.
Gone through a lot of whiskey.
You've done well.
Yeah, I'm still standing. Well,
Yeah.
sitting.
Yeah.
Fall downstairs and shit.
Watch him pack shit away in a minute. You watch. Half it being hard.
Stand up, hit
You're never going to get your car at the fucking car park, mate.
Dan, can you do me a favour?